Hello friends from all over the world. Welcome to Honor of Kings. If you don't know about Honor of Kings, don't worry. We will give you a full understanding about the game through 4 episodes. If you already know Honor of Kings, you should not miss this program, as you will find all the key information you want to know. Honor of Kings is a mobile game developed by Team Studio Group focusing on battle. It was released in China on November 26, 2015, and is currently the mobile game with the most players in the world. You will find a large number of unique heroes and finely designed skins in Honor of Kings. What's more, the immersive battlefield will also bring users fresh gameplay experience. That's why it is a fantastic choice for social entertainment. The first season of KPL was officially launched in September 2016, and we have witnessed the birth of 13 champions. After about 2,900 days and nearly 8,000 matches. Honor of Kings International Championship is an annual world-class esports tournament with the highest level of competition. It's worth mentioning that the 2021 Honor of Kings International Championship, which contributed 600 million content views on the day of the grand finals, reached 170 million users during the tournament. 2022 Honor of Kings International Championship will witness a whole update and hold a dazzling $10 million prize pool. The wild card qualifiers will start on November 22nd, and the group stage will start from December 3rd. You will see the strong teams from all over the world fighting for the World Championship. KIC2022 will kick off shortly. Let's witness the wonderful performance of players on the stage of the 2022 Honor of Kings International Championship. Let's high five for highlight.
能不能推一下？看杰瑞这里1打2，大招拉回去，给一个强化捕捉，原地站撸，技能也好了。
受伤吗？
二技能配合着2段1技能收下了。
火舞在一扇子收掉。
收掉卤蛋记号，这个伤害太高了。小杨来了。小在1这个2，再1、2下，大招。结果他们还是放出来了，2技能好了，1技能再点个链子走掉。
Let's enjoy today and not worry about tomorrow.
Nothing draws a shark better than the sweet scent of blood.
夸张 Q， 4杀。这波队友都冲进去。
Always fight to the best of your ability. It's a matter of respect for your opponent.
带走了3个人，再顶一下回来，1波4连超凡，我的天哪！洛克利过来直接打收割，闪现逼出，快的这波最后一丝血还是被洛克利给点死了，终于继续点。
If you came to watch me dance.
还要收割吗？
Perhaps you'd understand me better.
5连绝世！
reason with what hurts inside. When you let fear decide your fate, you don't choose which path to take in life. I'm finally letting go of everything that still holds me. I'm against the odds, but I won't give up, 'cause it's my time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, can no one back me down. Destiny is calling high. I'm not afraid to fight for everything I love. Victory's in my sight. The more we lose, the more we gain. The more that nothing stays the same in time. In time. Everything else still holds us. 'Cause it's our time to shine. Standing in the spotlight, can no one back us down. Destiny is calling higher. We're not afraid to fight for everything we love. Victory's in our sight. It's our time to shine high in light.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the semi-final of 2022 Honor of Kings International Championship. I'm today's customer, Nora.
I'm today's customer, Jacko.
I just can't believe that we are now at the stage of semi-final.
Finally, we'll come to the semi-final, and this is the last day. This is the last ticket for them to gain the last ticket to the grand finals.
Yeah, and due to these two teams, FoShan DRG.GK and Beijing Weibo, due to the previous series, I assure you that you guys gonna witness a fascinating night because these two teams are hyper competitive, and I just can't wait to see their performance for tonight.
Yeah.
But still, we've got our little tradition, and let's break into some details about our format to you guys. First, let's re-talking about a little bit about this global band pick and also ultimate battle.
Because this is a BO7 format, this is totally different from the BO1 or BO2, and the global BP, which means is the hero you picked before, you cannot pick it as in the next game. So this is quite important for every single team.
Yeah, it is because of this what we call global band pick format that made our band pick phases actually into a series of phases, right?
Yep.
You need to set down your tactics, you need to save some hero pools in case that maybe you're facing some difficult situations, maybe goes to game 4 or game 5.
You have to save your hero pool for the next game. So this is what we talk about. It's totally different from the BO1 because BO1, BO2, you can select all. Okay, let's check on some heroes data over there. Nakuroro, Angela, and Moz. Actually, I think Moz showed up a lot in this tournament, and yeah, it's pretty effective in countering the Luban Master and the Luban number 7.
And also, this gonna be a really nice bottom duel paired with Baili Shouyue, right?
Yeah.
And speaking to this Baili Shouyue, if we take a good look at all those compositions that Weibo selected before, we can find out that actually they used 2 marksmen once when they were playing against Chengdu AG.
Actually, I think Bai Shuyue is just like a mage because with this long range damage from his second ability, he can do a lot of poking damage into the back line, especially encountering with the Duban Master and Duban number 7. It's pretty work, okay?
And since we are now talking about Beijing Weibo, actually we definitely need to refer to this jungler, Nian.
Nian, look at that achievements: 2020 KPL Spring Champion, 2020 KPL Spring Grand Final MVP, 2020 Honor of Kings World Champion Cup Champion, 2020 Honor of Kings World Champion Cup Grand Final MVP. This is the year for the Beijing Weibo, and this is the year for Nian actually.
True, because now we can see like we're now at the semifinal, and from all those achievements done by Nian, we can see that before when Beijing Weibo was so-called TS, right? They won the Honor of Kings International Championship back in 2020. And they made a very like miraculous overturn at that day, right? I still remember.
I still remember.
Go to the ultimate battle.
Yeah, they first they lose 3 points in the first time, and then they gain back 4 points in a row. So this is I think this I would call that is a miracle because it's the most excellent final during the KPL region, I think.
Because it's quite rare to achieve that, right? You once let your opponents to get 3 points, already like got into their match point, and then you overturn it 1 game, 1 by 1, step by step, and you just overturn the whole case. That's just insane.
Just insane because mostly when you lose 3 points in the game, you feel a lot of stress and pressure from the other side because every game is a game point from the other side.
Yeah.
So they just deal with this kind of stress, and they handle this kind of stress very well.
Yeah. So actually we will always call Beijing Weibo as quite resilient. And once we've mentioned about this resilience, we definitely need to talk a little bit about FoShan DRG.GK.
Yeah.
Because this team, you know, like these 5 people, we can see that from the starting list, they are the same 5 people back in 2020. Like they've been playing with together for such a long time.
For such a long time, I would like to say that GK is a miracle team because every time he will, he can at least join the semi-final or the.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the semi-final of 2022 Honor of Kings International Championship. And we can see here is a live from Shenzhen, China.
Yeah, so this is quite important because this kind of number of audience haven't been shut out for at least 3 years, alright? We've been a lot, and finally we can see all those kind of passions and enthusiasm in the live show.
Yeah, like you can just feel those tension in the air when you're sitting in that arena, you know. It's not only those players, those coaches, or our producers really fancy to see our audience coming back. Also for us, right?
Yeah.
It's quite been a long time, and I'll tell you guys, once you've been to all those offline arena, you will never forget about those kind of like what we call like enthusiasm, right? Those excitement and everyone is cheering up for one specific player.
Yeah, I totally agree because you can feel the energy. You can always feel the energy, not just us, but the players on the stage, they can feel the energy from their fans.
True.
Yeah.
So sometimes actually that would cause some psychological pressure, doesn't it?
That means something, but yeah, that's the process that the players have to go with because there will be a lot of pressure from the other side, and then when you are on the stage, feeling that this kind of yelling or passions or energy from the audience, that will be some pressure for them. They will feel nervous. Right?
Yeah. But in that case, we were talking about like some newcomers from our game or like some new players, right? And for these two teams, I don't think like it would cause any pressure on them because both teams are quite experienced, and also they've all been into those grand final stage, right? They're just getting used to this kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, this is two teams, the players, they already have a strong heart inside because they've been through a lot because for example, for DRG.GK, they've been through a lot. Every time they can just at least get into the semifinals, but this is a team who this is a team which never gained the achievement, just such as the championship. All right.
Yeah.
So, this is the only team in the semi-final. So hopefully this time there will be something changed for them.
True. Since we're now talking about those like histories or all those achievements for both two teams, actually we can break into some details to you guys. For FoShan DRG.GK, we just talked about like these 5 players have been playing together for such a long time, for over 2 years, and their best records was like won the runner-ups back into 2021, that Honor of Kings International Championship. They were so close to that trophy. They were so close to that trophy, but they just didn't reach that. So that's the reason why you just mentioned about like this might be their chance for this year or to achieve, to accomplish their dream.
This kind of dream is pretty important for them because they would like to create some history for their team. So this is important because no matter what kind of title you have, you had before, what kind of honor you had before, this is a personal honor for that. But the honor for the team is quite important for them.
Yeah, because our Honor of Kings International Championship are considered as the highest level for all the year, right? The all year and all of those tournaments. And on the other side, we can talk a little bit about Beijing Weibo because we've mentioned about in the past when they were so-called TS, they won the KIC championship in 2020. And in the Challenger Cup, which is just finished, they won the runner-up. And they also go for that ultimate battle, play against with E-Star Pro.
Yeah, that was so close too.
Yeah, that was so you can see like for those two teams, actually it's quite regretful throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
They were so close to so many times to those kind of like trophies, to all those achievements. So this battle gonna be quite crucial.
Quite crucial because just like always one step from the trophy, but you cannot touch that. Yeah, at that time. So they were struggling at that time and they suffered a lot. But this time that will be totally different because both teams they won this trophy. But yeah. That would be the mountain they need to climb is from each other.
Yeah, they can only rely on themselves to overcome all those hurdles, overcome all those difficulties, and finally climb on the summit of the high mountain.
Yeah.
And what if like we just take one step behind and let's just recap the journey in our like KIC tournament, right? Because we've mentioned like since our KIC actually just kicked off 1 month ago and completely we're now at the stage of semi-final. Right?
Time flies, right?
Time really flies. And there's quite an interesting fact that actually these two teams have played against with each other 1 month before, right? Because we first go through that wildcard qualify and then we go through that KPL Origin qualify round 1. And that was doing best of 7 format, and these two teams were playing in that KPL Origin qualify round.
Yeah, they have against with each other at the time, the first round on the DRG.GK 4-2, they defeat Weibo. So that was something inside the heart of the Beijing Weibo players right now. There will be a revenge in this time. Maybe they will do a lot of homework on research on the Foran DRG.GK, but yeah, it depends on the execution of the game. Depends on the mentality of the players.
True, because what passed has already passed, and tonight's gonna be quite dividing. And let's see, from the first ban pick, is there any homework that Weibo just did, especially like prepared for FoShan DRG.GK, or FoShan DRG.GK just gonna like be consistent with your formal strategy and trying to do something?
Maybe, but we still need to check it in the game. So let's dive into the BP. And now Beijing Weibo, they are on the blue side. So when they are on the blue side, the first game is totally important because they can pick the first hero they want.
Oh, you see, this is like I watched those previous series done by Beijing Weibo, and every time when they're on the blue side for game 1, they definitely would first pick Nui for Huajin. And this time, GK just banned it away, so Gongli will be the answer.
That will be the target band, and then the ball will pass to Chelsea. Alright, Chelsea is so important. It's Gongli this time, and then Lam, Shimengxi, it's quite
aggressive, exactly. And actually, like for Nuanyan, every time the same on the blue side for game 1, he will just play his
because the pentakill lamp, right?
Pentakill land, it's like
so cautious because. And
on the other side, we can.
First of all, you can save some heroes or the mid phase, especially when you're coming out against this kind of conversation from the other side. Oh my god! They put a lot of things in their first game, Beijing Weibo. They really won the first point.
And that's actually quite surprising, you know, because to me, like personally, Beijing Weibo is those team who's considered as like slowly warmed up, right? And all for like the first game, maybe they would go for something more like secure or comfortable, won't be like kind of aggressive or risky.
Yeah, but this kind of aggressive is totally different than before. I think that this is a change we mentioned about. Yeah, this is a change. They definitely won the first point, and then some that to lift up the spirit of the whole team.
And we can see like the first composition for game 1 has already been settled. As we've mentioned about like Beijing Weibo's comp, actually it's quite early mid-game playing style, isn't it?
Yeah, that's such like that. But they actually have the late game because they have Lu Bu, right? Lu Bu combined with Lambo actually can so attractive for around the game. But this is a crucial point for them. It's can they gain themselves the goal lead? Yeah, the huge goal lead in the mid game is quite important for them because late is on the other side.
True. Like on the contrary, if we take a good look at FoShan DRG.GK's comp, we can see it's quite late gaming playing style. Like what we called like so-called late game playing style isn't because like they have no hero that can play in the early game. Just take EQ Tachibana as a result.
Yeah.
But the problem is their main core definitely gonna be Lady Sun. And also actually like these 5 players or like these 10 heroes are all very good at doing those big team fights.
Yeah. And then this shows up the Guan Yu. The Guan Yu is one of the key of the Frontier DRG.GK, especially in the early game, and played by Baishou. This is a signature hero to Baishou right now. And the first game he chose to use this kind of hero. Definitely we earned the key. we gotta watch this hero, how he performs in this game.
And you know, actually I guess it's maybe because Baishou now is in his best condition. So actually from the last previous series when they were playing against with XYG, the first game, I still remember that. We do believe that they've got other reaction. So let's just take a look. Let's just leave some space for.
And then we're gonna hear the voice from the audience. DRG.GK, they're trying to invade the jungle by the first round, but it doesn't matter.
Well, we can see like DRG.GK, they try to do some early invasions, but it seems now like it just kind of slowed down those farming pace from Liang, but nothing really like significant just happened. So it's quite peaceful in the early game.
At least they tried. But the defenses of the Beijing Weibo actually did so well in the first time. And then Beijing Weibo trying to gain some information from the other side.
Yeah.
Like Xingyu, he just won the time, the spawning time of the blue buff.
Yeah, and it seems like it is because of those early invasion that GK just did, try to slow down Liang's farming pace. So actually Xingyu just do the same trick.
Yeah.
Exactly, just respond to your early invasion and try to pull out that blue buff and gain more time for Weibo, especially for Liang, right?
And have to gain another well preparation for the next time. Maybe the next round they will have some invasion.
Yeah. And from the bottom lane, we can see actually Taoxi's been extremely aggressive. And the same as Meng Lan, after like her support just came down and helped him.
And Naga have to come down to offer some protection. And look at the bush. Someone's inside trying to ambush, but this time I look at Baishou is right there. It seems Baishou already spotted by the other side because only the Yukio Tachibana on the side land.
Exactly, that's the point. And we can see actually DRG.GK, they try to surprise Weibo. They try to let Baishou just to roaming down and try to do some early gank.
Yeah, this is a very common strategy for the Guan Yu. Definitely Beijing Weibo, they knew that.
Yeah, they just can feel it, you know, those transitions. They're like, as we mentioned, so experienced. They're like professional players. So after they saw like only one man, Yukio Tachibana, showing up on the bottom side of this mini map, they instantly know that Baishou's been hiding somewhere.
Yeah, especially in the bottom side. Because this kind of strategy, most of KPL team will play with this kind of common strategy. So Guan Yu, it's really hard to play during this kind of situation. And look at Meng Lan. Yukio Tachibana, another very nice ambushing from Peng Peng.
Exactly, like no one was expecting that Yukio Tachibana would be hiding in that bush.
Yeah, maybe that will be the Baishou, but Baishou already showed up on the mini map. But what they didn't expect is, Peng Peng is on that bush.
And actually, like for heroes like Gongsun Li, he won't be so afraid of Guan Yu's ganking, right?
Yeah.
But for Yuko the channel, we can see like all those stun that he did. He landed on Xiao Xi, and it is because of the stun that just earned this time. Even for Meng Lan to do like a little bit more output.
Yeah. And this time we find out that from DRG.GK strategy, so off to target on Xiao Xi.
Exactly.
Make sure Xiao Xi cannot farm up so quick and start up the pace in the bottom side.
Like it's only 4 minutes, and DRG.GK, they know that you're just trying to use this constantly, try to accelerate the farming pace, but since the ultimate has been broken.
Look at that, they use a flash to dodge the second ability from Qingpeng, and then Qingpeng have to use the flash to save his life.
Oh, it has just been 120 seconds. It's just like the cooldown just been fixed.
Yeah, but I think this rotation that the Beijing Weibo they made is so quick. And this is a beautiful strike back.
And we can see actually Weibo, they do have their own strategy. Even we saw like 4 people appearing at the bottom and trying to help Xiao Xi pushing back. Do not let Xiao Xi to be like under such a huge pressure. And at the same time, Nian was single on the top and trying to have more minion waves and trying to accelerate his falling pace.
This is a strategy. This is about experience. When you get targeted by the other side, especially the bottom side, you have to send your tank, send your crash lance hero to the bottom side, offer some protection. So this is this is an example we learned.
And from this round, we can see actually DRG.GK, they try to rotate earlier. They try to put Lady Sun on the top and try to do that tower trade. But from Weibo, they use Lan to clean up that wave, and on the other side, Guan Yu just clean the opposite lane on the bottom.
Yeah, they just do a lot of things.
Whoa!
Okay, and look at Meng Lan use the flash and trying to get himself out of the way. So this time they use a lot of things to get away, especially flash and ultimate.
It seems like it's still a bit early for Nian to have that shoes, right? Or he didn't got that shoes of Brazilian because like the time to be controlled seems a little bit long.
Yeah. Just wait for the next time and look at the Baisho. The ultimate's been forced out, but luckily Sprint still available. Oh, but Xingyu, he steals the blue from Peng Peng.
Oh
my God!
What just happened? Because I can still see like Peng Peng's smile is still available.
Yeah.
They're trying to rotate. They're trying to rotate as
Peng Peng already used his first ability, so this is the timing that Nian he gains at the time.
Yeah, and it was Nian, it was this jungler by using this lamp to engage and bring Peng Peng back. And after Peng Peng just being killed, by using this smite, Guy just guard this red boss. But what about the blue one? Because that one, the last one, was still away by Xingyu.
Yep, and blue is so important because Peng Peng is still in the fountain.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty hard for them to defend this blue. And the private model, Nian, he used this private model to transport to
be done. Yeah.
They defend this blue successfully. And then Meng Lan actually he needs this blue the most.
There were some tricks that DRG.GK used. They trying to pull out this blue buff.
Yeah.
So actually the blue buff need to pull back to his camp by himself, and that actually gained some time for Meng Lan to take that down.
Yep.
Anyway, like we can see now it has been 9 minutes and there was 2,000 gold lead goes to Beijing Weibo. And actually like from now until now and so far, nothing really that kind of fierce happened, you see.
Yep.
Just like keep rotating and constantly trying to do some trades, and that's it. Weibo is quite
this kind of operations around hit by 3. But I think right now plan for Meng Lan and Qingpeng
to divide this roles. like from Beijing Weibo, we can see they're quite being like perfect. Even Peng Peng won't be like the most important person to do that damage, but after like your jungler has been killed, it allows us to take all those resources, like neutral resources, just like what has been doing right now.
And especially this Dark Tyrant and Dark Overlord, and then the Reboot Zone inside, surrounded by 4. And right now you take a lot of damage. And then Nian Yang flanking in the swing, and right now use the first damage and use his ultimate to kill all the one on the inside. And Nian Yang destroy the back line with himself. Triple kill, back over to Nian Yang. This is what we call the MVP Nian Yang.
Oh, triple kill again. Like for Nian Yang, it's not the first time for him to achieve such a high accomplishment. And for Beijing Weibo, from this team fight, I can say like they just won the upper hand. But before all those operations or those rotations, that's just like small things, nothing really significant. Is gonna be clean up and
the butterfly, what we call the pentakill lamp.
A lot of like controllability. Yeah,
it's quite important at that time. And Zhao Zhen actually made he made his prediction of the location that Nian Yang will land, but he failed. He dodged by Nian Yang. I don't think that for DRG.GK they actually will have some hope to strike back or turn something back. Only if Beijing Weibo they made a big and huge mistake.
So actually like the situation for DRG.GK is quite difficult. But still like I believe in this 1-0. And good news to DRG.GK is that Menglan is quite well formed. And that's maybe something that worth mentioning, especially when the time goes on.
The only chance for the DRG.GK is to strike back in the high ground. Beside the high ground turret, they need some extra damage from the turret.
So the situation for DRG.GK or like the solution for DRG.GK right now is like they need to first step behind under the protection of this high ground tower, and because of they got this Lady Sun, they got this Zhang Fei, they got this Zhao Jun, they have the time, they have the ability to push back.
To clean the meaning way, and it's quite important for them. And right now, look at Bai Shou is helping the Nian Yang. The Menglan in the back line. He didn't know what he did. Do something back, all right?
Yeah, but what DRG is gonna.
And look at the Xiao Xi jump inside and do a lot. He's still alive. Double kill back over to. Ultimate from Xingfeng still land on turret beside the high ground turret, but 3 trade at a time.
And waves have been cleaned up from the fountain, so this won't be the end for DRG.GK for game 1. But we can see Weibo. Okay, let's first check the replay.
Yeah, he just knocked back. He knocked back the Nian Yang at a time, and then
I was crying. I can see like he was crying because he just used this flash away from this engagement and trying to be like in a quite safe spot, trying to do this damage.
Well, I said I just got saved with the next second, Bai Shou will just kick back to Nian Yang.
Yeah, and Bai Shou is just like, hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I can remember this kind of movement. just wait and see. So there will be a little bit mistake from the FoShan DRG.GK, especially from Bai Shou, but yeah, still some chance for them to strike back. But they did need